So Pixar and Disney got this thing that they do where they have underlying messages in their animated movies. And when I was watching this, I picked up on a few in here too, and I really enjoyed it. So War for the Planet of the Apes is the third movie in the reboot Planet of the Apes. And in this one, Ceasar and the humans are both on desperate times. Ceasar just really wants to find home for his apes and, just live in peace. He's tired, he's wore out, he's done with the fighting, and he just wants it all to be over. Now, on the flip side, you have the human race who are so few in numbers that they've just become desperate as a whole species, and all they want to do is survive. So they think that we have to destroy these apes because they are the single greatest threat to mankind, period. To start off, Andy Serkis's Ceasar is brilliant. When you watch this movie and you see Ceasar, he's an ape, he's a primate, and he moves like one, he sounds like one. Even though he's intelligent and he can speak, he still has all his ape mannerisms because that's what he is. And when you watch this movie, you forget that these are people acting as monkeys. So I have to really take my hat off to Andy Serkis because he really nails it as an ape. Now, the main antagonist in this movie is played by Woody Harrelson, and he's the colonel of this human army who's really searching for Ceasar and his herd of apes so that they can just wipe him out. Because like I said, the humans are desperate at this point, and Woody Harrelson is really spearheading this whole let's end this ape war before they end us as humans. With that, Woody did an incredible job. With him being desperate and some of the actions that he takes, it's like you can relate to the guy because, we've never been in a situation like that. So if you try to imagine yourself in one, I do believe that a lot of us would become Woody Harrelson, and he really just played it out well on screen. Now, the pacing of this movie was good in my opinion, but a lot of people are going to be a little conflicted when they go to see this because first off, it's a 2.5 hour long movie, which for most people is a long movie, but like I've said on previous reviews, I love long movies. It just gives you more time to give you more backstory, more detail, to make the whole picture a little clearer. And that's what this movie really does. Now, granted, the title says War for the Planet of the Apes, but it's not really a war. There is action in here. There is a lot of conflict. But for me, the war was mental. And I think this movie was going for more of a mental standpoint because you had to see Ceasar and his conflict, and all he wanted to do was be peaceful and save his people. And you had to see Woody's side, where all he wanted to do was save humans. So it was more mental warfare than anything. Granted, there was some war. So don't let the title deter you from this movie because it still was an amazing movie. Now, to touch on the visuals have to be one of the strongest parts of this whole franchise, period. Because like I said earlier, the apes are played by humans, and they use CG to go back and make them look like apes. And the people who play these apes do phenomenal jobs. Not just Andy, but everyone who plays these apes. And speaking of the apes, one of the apes I really liked was this ape. I don't know his name, but he called himself Bad Ape. He was the one from the trailer where every time they showed him, he was like, long time, long time. But he was great. This ape was extremely funny. And for such a serious toned movie, it was really good to see him come in and bring some light humor. And it was timed perfectly. I found myself laughing at him quite a few times. And even though Ceasar's personality and mannerisms were extremely human, I have to say Bad Ape probably adapted to the human side a lot more. And another thing that I really liked about it was that it showed you that there were smart apes outside of Ceasar's group, because you always thought that the apes that started in the beginning with him were the only ones who could talk, the only ones who could sign. They were the only intelligent ones. But Bad Ape was never with his group. Bad Ape was from a separate zoo, and when they run into him, he can speak. So that answered a lot of questions also. To bring everything back around full circle, War of the Planet of the Apes was a great movie that was a little bit different than what I expected. Like I said, the title implies war, but it's more mental war than it is physical war. And I actually really enjoyed it. The characters in this movie were amazing. Andy as Ceasar did a wonderful job. Woody Harrelson killed it as the antagonist. And Bad Ape was the comic relief that we all needed in such a melancholy movie. The CG is out of this world. It just gets better and better every time they show these movies. And I actually think War of the Planet of the Apes was my favorite one yet. So with all that being said, I have to rate this movie legendary. All right, so that's it for this review, folks. So for the comment combo of the day, I want you to let me know which Planet of the Apes of the new reboot was your favorite. Was it Rise, Dawn, or War? Whatever you think, comment below and let me know. Now, as always, if you liked this video and you thought it rocked, like, comment, and subscribe to see more from me, Mike Prop. Later.